Hey everyone, I'm Yashish, one of the developers at Moira Labs, a small indie game studio who's working on our first ever game called The Lost War. It is a strategy card game, a lot like chess meets Magic the Gathering, and I'm so excited to bring you guys on this journey with us through our devlog number 1. So, welcome. Over the last year and a half of development, if I've learned anything, it's that building a strategy card game digitally is really hard. There are so many moving parts, in-game resources that we have to kind of put into this one screen that is intuitive to the players, and we've been really struggling with it. And we've reached a point where we've started playtesting and we're getting a lot of feedback from it. But our entire process has been such a learning curve that I thought the best devlog to start with is to show you guys our most difficult journey so far. The game board design journey can be divided into 3 main phases. The first phase, and I'm very embarrassed to say this, is copying existing games. Yes, we basically went out, looked up Magic the Gathering Arena, Hearthstone, Marvel Snap, all of the big games that exist, and saw what they were doing to make their game boards. Because our game took a lot of inspiration from theirs, but we soon realized that our game was still so different with so many different types of resources that we couldn't just copy them. We learned a lot of things that we didn't want to do. For example, our first game board design here, as you can see, has a hand, and it's very similar to a typical game board design. But I will show you in the future, our actual game didn't end up having a hand. We don't even have things like a graveyard, and that's very weird. And I would definitely ask you to join our Discord at this point and join our Discord to see what our game dev journey so far has been and be a part of it more actively, because we really love feedback. But anyways, getting back to the video, and that's where we learned what we didn't want, and that's where we decided to kind of go back to the basics, and that's where phase 2 comes in. In phase 2, we brought out these dry erase cards on which we could basically write down the abilities that we want on our cards, because it's a card game, and we played it in person, and we didn't have any rules or like any designs in our mind. We would just kind of put the cards down and see what came out of it. Where did we naturally place our cards? What was the natural game board when we were playing the game in person? And this helped a lot, and I would definitely recommend, if you are building a game that can be replicated in person in any capacity whatsoever, in order to understand the best UI UX, play the game in person, because that's how you intuitively do things. And this was one of the major changing points for us, and I really recommend every one of you guys who has a game that involves some sort of physical aspect to try this out, because, well, it helped us a lot. After phase 2 came phase 3. In phase 3, it was basically just feedback, reiteration, and we are technically still in phase 3 because we still get feedback. And we made so many game boards. There was this game board, this game board, this game board, this game board. But we finally, out of all of these, landed on this final game board, which after illustrations looks like this. And I'm quite happy with it. We've already gotten a lot of feedback from our playtesting, and I'm going to plug it in again. Join our Discord so you can playtest our game and give us critical feedback, or comment it down below what you guys think about this game board. But yeah, so we got a lot of good feedback. For example, the faith bar over here, people don't think it's intuitive, and people don't really know what steps they're on. And we're a digital game, so we want to kind of take advantage of the technology, and we are already starting to incorporate that feedback into our game board and our UI UX. So in our 3 phases, the first one ended up being the worst, and I genuinely do not recommend any of you guys to just go and copy our game board or anything, because it doesn't help. And the second one was probably the best, where we actually just played the game with physical cards, because you just do things naturally, and the natural way of playing the game should be this in person should be the same online. And the final was reiteration and feedback. The more people who look at your game, and this is not just from a perspective of just design and UI UX, but also from a technical game design perspective, the more people who look at your game, give you feedback, the better your game is going to end up being. So definitely try these things out and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, please subscribe. We are a new channel and we're trying to grow. And please join our Discord. The link's down in the below. We would love to have you join our community. And I will see you guys in the next devlog. Goodbye.